Good morning, guys. It is Saturday the 28th of October and day 9 of my Australian daily vlogs. Today is going to be a good one. I'm off to see a subscriber called Warren who lives in Melbourne and has a rather tasty selection / collection of cars. When I did my initial Australia announcement about 3 weeks ago, quite a few people reached out via email, Instagram DM or on YouTube and offered me their pride and joys, which is just awesome. So thanks to everyone, and apologies if I missed anyone and didn't reply to them. I'm going to try and bring you along for as much of the journey as possible, and I'm going to separately film at least one of his cars on a more traditional sort of review video, so that will come on the channel once I'm back to the UK and I've had time to edit it. Let's get to his house, because typically in Joe fashion I'm running 11 minutes late, and typically in Melbourne fashion, yep, we're starting today's adventures in Warren's Brooklyn Grey M4 cab. That's what he's driving. I'm driving his Lotus Emira. It's actually the first time I've driven a Lotus Emira. I have been offered one by people like my good friend Tim. As you can probably see, if I sit up normally, I am sitting extremely high, and I knew that was the case because I've sat in Tim's, Shmee's and various other Emiras and discovered very quickly that the car is small and the driving position is not catered for lanky frames like mine. It really isn't. If you're much over 6 foot, 6'1", definitely take one on a lengthy test drive, because just like an Alpine A110, a car that I absolutely love, they're just not designed for really tall people. The gearbox is really nice, the clutch is nice and light. The steering wheel itself I'm not a fan of, if I'm being honest. I think the buttons look sort of a bit cheap. The shape of it, and just how thick it is, where you're meant to hold it at 2:45. I mean, I've got massive hands and I kind of, yeah, it just feels a bit on the chunky side, a bit on the big side. Now this has got the sports chassis, not the touring chassis, so the stiffer chassis. So Warren was just telling me that these are about 225 on the road, $1,000. So if you convert that, it's about 115,000 pounds. We think we pay a lot of money for cars in the UK, which we do, but I think a nicely spec'd first edition Emira, off the top of my head, what are they, about 80? So they're paying another 35 grand over here, which is a lot. And especially when you consider that in the UK, I think the Emira is about 15 grand more than an M2. Over here, they're about 70 grand more, so a big price difference. I wouldn't say it's as nice as, let's say, a Porsche's 6-speed manual box, but it does have a lovely action to it, and you know when you're in gear. Yeah, the rest of the interior, I know Lotus have been praised about the fit and finish and the quality, and it's definitely better than something like the Evora or other stripped out Lotuses, and this is a big step above. I've got my Android Auto running. I wouldn't say the materials and the fit and finish are amazing. They're definitely not $225,000 worth, but you're not buying this car for that. You're buying it as a driver's car. I'm sure it'll be fun out on a nice flowing country road or out on circuit. In fact, my good friend Sam Reynolds, pro freestyle mountain biker, he has a beautifully spec'd Emira, blue with black leather. Don't know what the blue is called, but it's really nice. And he's taken that around Brands Hatch and done some big skids in it as well. So although it's essentially mid-engined. I'm guessing it's balanced very well, but I won't be doing big skids in Warren's car. Number one, because it's not my car. Number two, because I'm in Australia and I would probably end up in jail forever. You now join me about half an hour later on an Australian highway, which means we can do 62 miles an hour, which is a lot better than 30 or 40 back in the city. And the first thing that I noticed is the sound. Let's just change down a little bit. That's third gear. That's only 3,500 RPM. Sounds great because the engine is literally, I don't know, 15, 16 inches behind my shoulders, and just makes a great sound. You can hear the induction, you can hear some of the exhaust. In terms of outright pace, I think this has a claim 0 to 60 time of 4.2 seconds or 4.3 maybe, which is identical to the G87 M2 in manual form. It doesn't feel as quick as the M2. Into tour, there's a bit less exhaust noise and engine noise, and it's actually a really pleasant place to sit. I would say that this has a lot less cabin intrusion noise, like tyre roar, than Porsche's 992 for sure, which is something I wasn't expecting, because obviously lightweight cars like this, again being a Lotus, you wouldn't think there'd be much sound deadening. If I had a Cayman wheel in here now, I'd be a much happier person. Oh, okay, yeah, so once you get it over 4, 4.5, it really starts to go. Right, this is now in sport. So we've just driven up to near the top of Arthur's Seat. Really amazing view.
Oh, that's good.
We're fast approaching Warren's house, so I just thought I'd do, that was another XM. I've actually seen a couple of XMs out on the road. Something I talk about a lot with the M2 is the M2 is a 4-seater. It has a big boot. It has a lot of things that the Emira or Cayman doesn't have. So that's something to factor in straight away before you even drive the two cars. The front end feels amazing. The sound, you can hear the diff, you can hear the engine intake, you know, all these real sounds. The gearbox, it's a little bit clunky. I think earlier on I was maybe bigging it up a bit too much, but it is rewarding. And the whole heel and toe setup is pretty good. The negatives are driving position. The ride quality with the sports chassis is very stiff, very, very stiff. Lack of storage space in here. $225,000, where an M2 is about $140,000. That's a massive price difference. In the UK, it's closer to about 15 grand. Out here, when you sort of do the exchange rate, that's about £40,000 difference. It definitely doesn't do the growing up thing that an M2, especially the G87, does very, very well. G87 manual auto, you can get in and use that as your daily, every day of the week, and it feels like a very ordinary car, but in a good way. And when you push on, it transforms into an M car. Whereas this, well, even just cruising around here, it's not what you would use for your daily. I think it would become a little bit tiring over a longer period of time. Massive thanks to Warren for this awesome day so far, and letting me behind the wheel of this car, and letting me obviously also give a very honest opinion on the car. Right, we've arrived at Warren's beautiful house GT3 Touring is my absolute dream car, and the spec on this one, shark blue, silver stripe down the middle. It even has chrome window surrounds, which are just incredible. They go so well with the silver wheels. What a spec. But we can't ignore the GT4 RS part next to it. I mean, which one would you choose? Which one would you take if you're going out for a Sunday drive? Thankfully, I'm actually going to get to drive both of these today, back to back. My heart still says the GT3 Touring. Keep an eye out on the channel for my video that centres around these two cars. That will be coming in the next couple of weeks or so. Alright, so I'm back in the car with my good friend Emil from the MotoGP. Hopefully you've been watching all of the daily vlogs. You recognise him and his amazing English accent.
Oh yeah, alright.
And that's his son, Bastian. And your name?
Isaiah.
Isaiah. That's a very cool name. Yeah. What do you guys think of the car?
Really good.
What do you like about it in here?
The roof.
The roof.
I like the lights.
The lights and the patterns. And the seat, is it nice and comfortable back there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I like the horsepower.
You like that?
Jesus, smooth, isn't it?
It is smooth.
Like, changes gears and that just pops. And...
So, which colour do you want all the stuff you can have?
Wait, can you?
Let's try green. There we go. How's that? Let's go blue first because it's there. Orange. Oh, there's a purple there as well. We haven't had a purple.
Oh, that's cool. That's the best.
Purple's the best.
Yes,
If you get it in the hoop, it's definitely going on YouTube. Come here. Come here. Oh, look. So I know you guys love dogs, and this is a puppy, Shuket.
Shuket normally's got a nice hair dough.
Hair dough.
Being naughty.
A nice what, sorry, Sandra? Hair dough?
Hair dough.
Hair dough.
What?
So this is Sandra.
Wow.
She's originally from France. She's lived over here for a long time, and now she's got a real hybrid accent. Anyway, the light is fading. Today's been absolutely mega. I'm going to put this away because I'm here with my good friends. Enjoy the evening with Shuket. With Shaky. With Croissant. Croissant. Oh. On that note, I'm going. Goodbye. Wow. Look at this.
Who wants a sausage? Who wants some meat?
Sausage and meat.
Yeah, we're cutting the meat and then having sausage.